Now you're telling me this. I'm gonna go home and take.
I was about to say.
If you take that, they'll just find a number. They'll just start playing GTA.
Hey.
He actually.
How do I stop being awkward?
Yeah, and then you just keep being awkward.
And then you think, how do I look cool? How do I look calm? And then you're trying to look.
And then you start doing something. So I look cool. Wait, yeah.
I don't know what's going.
I'm literally like, okay, is this interesting or is this like
I'm really gonna build on that. Like, oh, this is because
I don't know what's going on.
Back in school, and the teacher says, "No more talking."
Like, that's when you're gagging to say something, innit?
Whoever laughs next gets sent out.
Now, you know, if you say a joke, it has to be the best joke you've ever told.
It has to be. There's no way it can be dry.
Because getting sent out for a dead joke.
Yeah, right.
It's never worth it.
That could never happen to me, man. I always have to go out with a bang, or at least just laugh.
I feel like that's why kids, when they've been told to leave and they're leaving, they must do something. Either when they shut the door behind them, they pull like a silly face.
That's when the class clown is born.
Exactly. No, honestly,
that's the stopping ground. That's 10 seconds.
No, if you don't do something, then it's just like, yeah, alright, cool. You're just not that guy. But if you like, it's like how can I say it? It's like free throws. Do you know what I mean? It's basic. You just go every time you go there, you have to do something, man. Yeah. Or like when you get sent into like another class, like the oldest class, you have to make some sort of joke, and then Do you know what I mean? Then you're sort of accepted by the elders or whatever.
Yeah, but it's so sad when you get sent to like a younger class. I remember that was always like a threat in primary school. We'll send you to year 3, and I'm like,
really?
I'd love that. I'd literally just do nothing all day, innit?
I don't think they ever said that threat in our school.
To a younger class.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Because that's the point. It's supposed to like embarrass you.
No, that could never happen to me, man.
What they used to do was, we'll send you to one of the set 7 classes or set 8 classes if you're messing up.
Yeah.
But then it's like, why would you do that? Because everyone in there's messing around.
It's just bad influences with bad influences.
Yeah, I didn't walk gas to the fire. Like, what's going on?
It's not just supposed to make you feel like you want to be in the top set. You don't want to go there.
Yeah, no, it's like for a day, like.
No, but I think the sad thing is when you see some of your brethren in there, and then you're like, I get why you're at like this outside of class. You're just like this all the time, aren't you?
It's them reckless dons.
Because you know some people can turn it off, turn it on.
Yeah.
Like, them men are just like that.
Just
all the time.
24/7, yeah.
All it takes is one thing for the teacher to say and they flip.
Dashing books.
Yeah.
Throwing pencils at each other.
Bro, you know it's the worst people, yeah? You know when they like dashing chairs or tables?
Yeah.
Those ones I've never understood because obviously tables aren't heavy, but at that age it's like, bro, the amount of energy you're using to throw this table, is it really worth it?
But in like secondary school, those tables were flingable though.
Yeah, they were a bit like...
but some of them.
They weren't like, you could dash it at speed, but you could fling it.
Yeah, you can fling it like what, like 20 centimeters?
I'm just like, when I think about things like that now, I'm like, that kid must have been going through some serious stuff, like at home.
Yeah,
like,
that's unhinged
how are you going to
behaviour.
get to school and you want to dash it? That means you're dashing like a sofa at home. Do you know what I mean? Like, how are you getting to school?
Because it's never over something mad. Like, it's always
the smallest thing, you know?
Can I go to the toilet, miss? No. And
Well,
then like, you're dashing tables.
At 9 a.m. 10 a.m.
That's unhinged.
Exactly.
Nah.
So what are they like possibly going through
that early as well? No, it's actually crazy.
To think that behaviour is acceptable, that you have to go through something.
You must be, and at such a young age as well. It's really sad.
It's like those people like break the controllers when they're like playing games. I've never been that guy.
That's
punch
different,
the
though.
wall.
I don't even know how you can like.
Nah, so do you know this? I'm
maybe breaking controllers like, but if you punch the wall or like
it's smart,
destroy something,
it's
like,
a lot.
That's madness.
It is very mad. The controller one is like FIFA. Come on now.
So
it's like
so it's justified.
It kind of is.
Yeah,
because it's last minute. You go,
I mean, okay.
Well, like the games, just dash it, man. Like, yes, it's one of those ones where you just don't know your own strength at the time.
Yeah.
But FIFA, I think they actually make the game so that they can. That's a possibility.
So you can destroy stuff.
Yeah, 100%. So you can destroy your controllers, maybe even your TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
That whole rage culture is very encouraged. Yeah, it's weird.
Now you're telling me this. I'm gonna go home and take.
I was about to say.
If you take that, they'll just find a number. They'll just start playing GTA.
Hey. He actually can't. Sometime I take the pads, everything.
Nah, Coco's watching this one like.
If you can find an alternative, because I think you can maybe play on your phone.
Yeah, now you can start to connect.
Yeah,
can you play on your phone?
Do you know what I do?
Yeah, like you can get like
take the power socket. Just take the plug.
that.
So the
Wow.
PlayStation is there. You can see it, but you can't use it.
You're exactly like my mom. That's what she used to do to me.
But
And
you have to.
no, do you have to?
Imagine if you had access to your games console 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
7 days a week. If there was no control, because let's be honest, kids, they don't know how to control themselves. You need to kind of set the boundaries for them.
Yeah.
Imagine if that's all you did.
Yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
remember, at uni, I remember at uni
You
as
know?
well. Like some days, I'll just be after lecture. I'll just spend like 6 hours. I'll be like, Jesus Christ, I have a lot of work to do.
Yeah,
I have
right?
a lot of shit to do, and I'm playing game like I'm 14 again. Like it's bad.
Yeah, I hear that. But the thing is, so this is why I don't understand why my mum did it, because I wasn't allowed to be on Xbox during the week. It was only Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, that's good.
But she still hid it on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Because we can.
Go outside, nigga.
Yeah.
No.
No, but legit, I feel like sometimes it's as silly as it. There's a reason. There is a reason. There's always a reason. But sometimes you just need to like allow your child to just wean off of these things. Just like take a moment, do something else.
Yeah, it could definitely be addictive. Like,
Yeah.
Bro, my mum was definitely telling me to stay indoors during these. Bro, this is peak Owsby Estate times, bro. Like, these guys are shooting and stabbing people right outside my doorstep.
Wow.
I can't go outside.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah.
mean? I'm saying,
We're
can I go
staying
outside and
indoors.
play football? She said no. Can I go and play Xbox?
No.
So what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
No, that was literally it. It's like, take your book and read.
Like, there's no homework left. It's all done. I've even done it early. Like, this
Yeah.
isn't due till next week.
Something like my child, please.
Nah.
Find something else to do. Set yourself an assignment. Clean the house. Clean your trainers. Clean your room. There's always something to do.
yeah, I feel like nowadays, especially with the internet and the way it's grown, like,
Yeah,
I feel like
now-
there's definitely
everything
always
is
Yeah.
accessible.
Nowadays, there's a lot more
you can
stuff
just
to
watch
do.
YouTube or something. Or
Yep.
just watch a Netflix on your phone.
Yep.
But-
Back in those days, it's like if it's not the TV in the living room, you're probably not watching anything.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, for real.
Internet wasn't even like the internet now.
Yeah,
like you
Yeah.
can't even like, you know how you got internet on your phones now.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you remember, like you had to pay
It
for
was
internet.
dial up.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to use the landline, you need to disconnect the internet. That was the
Like-
times I grew up in. So it was like, yeah, it's nowadays everything is just so like palm ready. You can just get anything.
Exactly.
Like,
So that's why if someone's saying they're bored nowadays, it's like if you haven't exhausted all your options, then like
You're
there's
not trying hard enough.
you're not trying hard enough. Nah.
but then can we say like, devices aside, internet aside, that's when they find it so hard to find something to do, because it's like they can't do anything but be on the internet or be on a device. But growing up, it was like we didn't even have devices like that.
Which is true.
But I guess like in that scenario, you kind of know the internet's gonna come back, or you're gonna be able to use the internet again, so you don't really express or think
Yeah.
about, or you don't really imagine what else to do. But
I'm trying to think now. If I were to like not use the internet or not like go on any sort of device,
What would you do?
I don't actually know. You know, because
Read.
and I think it's harder now. Yeah, no, I like probably like read like a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe open the Bible a bit, go cook. But after that, it's like, what else is there left to do?
yeah, unless it's like
Take a
shout.
nap.
No, I can't take naps.
You can't take naps. Let me tell you something. Naps. Wow.
For me, naps are just as dangerous as gaming.
No, it's a nap. I didn't say go to sleep. Don't go to bed. Take it like a power nap.
No, I don't believe in power naps. If I'm napping for 3
That
hours.
used to be me, you know. I swear to you, that was me until I don't know whether it was when I hit like 30 and I was like, yeah, no, I need a nap right now. I need a nap right now.
So what's the power? How long is the power nap?
Like an hour.
I had like 90 minutes to an hour. Yeah.
An hour's good. I can do an hour.
Do you know this? I think no, I nap, but I don't nap intentionally. Does that make sense? It's like
Yeah, you drift off.
yeah, it's like I was watching How to Get Away with Murder, and I just finished eating. I was watching. Woke up. He said, "Are you still there?" I said, Oof, I don't even know if I'm still here.
When Netflix is asking you, are you still there? Yeah.
Exactly. I was thinking, how long was I out for? But those are the only times I'll ever nap. I can't just be like, yeah, you know what? Let me take a nap, and I actually nap.
No, do you know what? Fair enough. I don't intentionally nap. I won't like lay down and be like, okay, set an alarm for 1 hour and I'll be up. Because those ones really upset me. I feel like I wake up and I'm even more tired than I was when I slept.
Yeah.
But me, I'll wake up 59 minutes so that I can see that there's 1 minute left. That pisses me
That
off.
upsets me. Oh my
Body,
gosh.
I feel like I have one of the best body clocks ever. Like my body knows when it's
Yeah.
5 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah,
If I need to be up at that
yeah,
time,
yeah.
wake me up 4:59 on the dot,
Oh my
and I'll just be
God.
pissed.
You're just seeing the seconds run down. It's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like,
And you know the ones where you're like, 1 minute's kind of long, you know. Let me just, and then it just pisses you off.
But the funniest thing, your body's already waking up from like 20 minutes before anyway. So like you're already coming out of that deep sleep from before that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
those ones are the worst. When you wake up before you wake up, like your eyes are open and it's like, oh, my arm's moving. And it's just like, wait, hold on, I'm supposed to be breathing. It's like it's kind of like sleep paralysis type of thing.
Yeah.
You've never had that?
Never had it.
Oh,
Wow.
bro, it's like the
Maybe
scariest
my mum
thing.
prays too hard. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, like, you have your guardian angel's working overtime.
Because I've never had that.
Bro, there's been
If I want to
so
move, I'll
scary.
move.
no, like you'll move, but it's like, I don't know, it's like something's not holding you down because that's
yeah,
demonic.
but you
But it's
can't
like,
actually physically move.
yeah.
I think it never hold me down, man.
Amen. Hallelujah to that. But do you know what's funny? My son actually told me that he experienced it from like ages ago. Well, he was much younger, yeah. So I was like, wow, it's not just like when you're an adult thing or when you're stressed type of thing, but like it legit happens.
Yeah. And I think it's just one of those ones where it's like you just literally just wake up, but your body is still waiting to wake up.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
So you literally can't. That just sounds wild.
So there's a part in your there's a part of your brain that hasn't fully woken up, but your eyes are.
yeah.
Like
literally, I wake up and I'm like this. I'm like, the hell? Like I'm trying to move, and then it's like I'll move my head a little bit, and then I need to jolt, and then I'm like, alright, cool, I'm
I
awake
just
now.
start calling Jesus because we ain't finna be here for that long. I'm like, God, I need some help.
That reminds me of, like, you know, in Doctor Strange when they take the soul out of the body and you can just see your body on the floor. That's what that sounds horrible.
No,
It's
that's
not
what
nice,
some
no,
people do.
it's
The
scary.
whole lucid dreaming thing.
Yeah.
Someone told me to do that. I almost blocked them because I was like, what sort of behavior is lucid
How does that
dreaming?
work?
It's like,
Explain.
okay, so it's like, so this is what I've been told.
Yeah.
I've never actually done this myself. I don't plan to, but it's like, so you know when you put yourself to sleep and then you can sort of feel yourself drifting off. You need to sort of resist the urge without trying to wake up, and then it's like you
can control your.
Yeah, it's like it's like you're dreaming, but obviously I don't have to explain it because I haven't done it. But it's like it's almost like imagine like when you're high, you can see stuff, and it's just like
I wouldn't know. I don't get high.
that's true. Yeah, what is
I
that?
don't know what that is. High, what? Drunk?
But yeah, you know what I mean, though, innit? Like trips and all that. Is this camera?
Who's high? What? Where?
Yeah, it's like yeah, you're going through like some sort of psychedelic trip almost, and then it's apparently like an outer body experience. But I ain't trying to indulge in any of that.
That sounds interesting.
I heard it was like when you sleep. So what you said, like when you're going to sleep, but then you try and keep your consciousness awake in order to control what you see in your sleep. Basically, it's essentially to control your dreams, so you can right, so that you can also remember it or something along
Like
those
Inception
lines.
almost.
Oh, I don't know. That one is much though. Inception.
Yeah, but that's someone else's.
That's like that's like heavy.
No, because that's the other part of Inception. The other one is where you're dreaming inside a dream.
Yeah, that's when you go into someone else's
No,
dream.
but it's not you're dreaming inside a dream. It's like you're in control of
That
dream.
person's dream, yeah. So
'Cause
you
you
kind of
know-
set it up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because you know in the film, they did the person who was dreaming, they actually have control over their surroundings. It was Leonardo DiCaprio who knew what to do and stuff. The other person thought he was just like a character in his own dream.
Yeah.
But have you ever had that? Like in a dream, you're dreaming. Like inside your dream, you're sleeping, and then you dream again.
No, it's like a movie. Like, you know when people
I think
sleep
I
in a
have.
movie and they wake up. I've never had that.
I think I have, so, but in my mind, it's multiple dreams.
Wait.
So you know when you wake up and you're like, oh, I had like 2 dreams and I can remember them. But
okay.
yeah, but
I've
sometimes,
had that.
sometimes I feel like maybe it was a dream within a dream. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you start off one place and then you're something completely unrelated.
In one random forest.
Yeah, completely unrelated. But yeah. But I believe in my dreams quite a lot though. So I remember there was one year that I had a dream every single night that entire year.
Wow.
Every night, and I was like, wow, this is a record.
Every night?
Yeah, every night.
I never heard that
Every
before.
single night. And I was like, this is a lot.
Because there's always that one night where you just black out and then you just
Yeah.
Sometimes I wouldn't remember them, but then I couldn't like tell you word for word like what happened in the dream. But I'd wake up and be like, okay, yeah, no, I definitely I had a dream, I can't remember it.
If you wrote it down, you'll probably be able to start remember it.
Yeah.
Nah, that's never. I think I'm more. I have like. There's the times where I don't dream, but then when I do dream, it's a complicated dream. It's like something is going on, and then for some reason, like it's kind of like that dream inside of a dream. I have that quite a lot. I don't know why. It's like I'll be dreaming, then I wake up, but then I wake up and I'm still dreaming.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
I think so.
Like, no, you're looking at me kind of weird over there.
Nah, I saw it hit blunt. I was kind of related to that. So it's kind of like imagine every time.
Wait, should we get into the hit blunts now?
Yeah, I'll say this one if I can remember how to say it properly. But it was like every time you hear your name or someone says your name, it's your family waking you up from a dream that you had 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. So they say right now that this is
What?
not a dream. So like every time I say Ayo, it's your family saying Ayo.
Wait, I'm so lost.
I'm very confused as
Okay,
well.
so right now you're dreaming in this scenario, and this is the dream.
Okay.
And every time I say your name,
Yeah.
it's your family saying your name to you, but your subconscious is the one who's making me say it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the
Okay. Right. But how would?
So they're saying everything you're experiencing right now is a dream.
No.
Well, it's just characters in it. So wait, have you guys never had like a random person you never met in your dream before? Like you feel like you've never seen this person before?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that.
I'm literally like, okay, is this interesting or is this like
I'm really gonna build on that. Like, oh, this is because
I don't know what's going on.
All right, so let's get the intro in.
Let's get the intro in. It's J to the Izzo Out Here podcast. I'm gonna just do something new here, guys.
Yes, sir.
We've been doing this walk-in intro for a while now. It's been pretty interesting. But yeah, it's J to the Izzo from the Out Here podcast. And who am I joined by?
Mids MB.
Got a special guest today.
Who do we have in the studio?
Who do we have here? Am I meant to introduce something? Oh, I can't lie. There's one thing I really do not like doing because I never know what to say. But my name's Esther.
Okay.
And who are you, Esther? Who are you?
Yeah. If you had to summarize yourself in 2 sentences, I was gonna say words, 2 sentences.
Okay. My name's Esther. I am a young mother who is also a digital content creator, and that's me.
Okay.
She's kind of selling herself short. Trust me. Nah, trust
I never know
me.
what to say. I'm
Go
like,
on
I don't
Instagram.
know.
Go check her out on YouTube. It's like every week Esther's in a new country.
I wish. I'm
Like-
here right now. I was here last week.
The fact that you're here when it's raining, it just... Because when it was sunny, I was seeing you abroad, I was like...
In it,
Yeah.
right?
Now it's raining, you're here.
No, but it's called balance. You know, they say
Yeah.
balance.
What's been your favourite place to travel to this year?
This year, Disney World.
Disney World.
Walt
okay.
Disney World, Orlando, Florida,
The serious
USA.
one.
Yeah.
Disneyland, not Disneyland.
Not the Paris one, isn't it?
Yeah, Disney World.
That's
that
for
was
you
really
small
cool.
boys. Disney World.
Disney
Exactly.
World. That
So-
was sick.
Apparently they got their own Disney dolls there, isn't it? Or something like that.
Oh no.
Oh, that's just a myth. Okay, fair
No,
enough.
not that I saw. They spend regular dollars, but everything else is Disney. So when you enter Disney World driving, the signs change from your regular like road signs. You know, American road signs are green. I think the Disney World ones are like purple or something. So all the road signs in Disney World.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's apparently it's as big as the whole of San Francisco. Not that we would know because we don't live there, but it's.
I just
huge.
assume that's big.
Nah,
No,
I'm
it's
assuming they got that bridge,
massive.
innit? So
Yeah, even the individual parks alone are big. And imagine like 5 of those parks and then like 30 resorts and hotels. It's huge.
I'm just imagining 6 thought parks and then a couple hotels around that.
No,
That's
but
crazy.
it's now.
That could
When I
probably-
was there, I was like, yeah, I get why Disney's so rich. I get why they have so much money because this alone is probably just a smidge of
yeah.
what they make.
Remember they said they were thinking about bringing one to Croydon, but
Oh,
yeah,
With the Westfield that is still in development. Nah, man.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They were thinking about it. I was like, you ain't got no space for that.
I think they were meant to bring something to like Gravesend or that area. That kind of like
That would make more
that
sense.
kind of area. Yeah, I think they were meant to. I don't know though.
Ah, well. But yeah, we're gonna get into the hit blunt. So these are statements that will it will make you think. So
Okay.
Just little icebreakers. Just say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Oh
Yeah.
no, that's dangerous.
no, it could be right. You know, it's we've had that
Listen,
a couple
if you
times.
convince us, it is what it is.
Yeah. Oh, and if you get all 3 correct, you get a prize.
So are these questions?
Questions, statements.
Okay, like catchphrases.
No, not catchphrases. No.
You'll see. Cool. Cool. The first one is, one day people will be able to send smells over their smartphone, and unsolicited fart sniffs will be a problem.
What?
What?
So one more time.
Okay, so one day people will be able to send smells over their phone, and then someone's gonna start farting and sending that to people, and then it's gonna be a big problem.
So what do I say? Ew.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, what do you guys think about, like, you know how Elon Musk has that whole Neuralink or whatnot?
So someone's gonna Neuralink me a fart?
Yeah, like, so.
That's ridiculous.
And then the Neuralink's gonna simulate what that fart smells like and send it to you.
No, I don't think we
That's
need
disgusting.
that. That's
Yeah,
too
we don't
much.
need
like,
that.
No, but like, imagine, like, for example, you're going out, there's this new aftershave, you're like, bro, you need to smell this. You send it via Neuralink, and I'm like, oh, bro, it's not it. And then you don't buy it. Don't you think that would be helpful?
It would, but at the same time, it's like then people just start farting and like burping instead of inside of these things.
I think that's good for like commercials and adverts, and because you
Yeah.
know, in my mind, whenever I see like a perfume or fragrance ad on TV, I'm just like, how did you come up with this visual for a scent? Like, what? How did we get there for like a scent? Do you know what I mean? Like, how are you describing a scent with like a Jaguar or with like a woman wearing gold? Like,
I saw one the other day. Yeah, it was like this Italian couple.
Yeah.
They were driving around like the hills. Then they were shouting at each. Obviously, it was all mimed. They were shouting at each other.
Yeah.
The woman got out, started walking, and then he left. But then he came back, but it was still the same time of day, so it didn't even make sense. Came back, picked her up. They looked at each other, started laughing. They parked up somewhere. Started swimming, doing all this sort of stuff, you know, the whole spinning around, and then it was like Davidoff.
I was like,
what the hell is this?
The blue water.
Yeah.
Water.
I was like, what the hell is this all about?
I just don't get it.
It made no
It's
sense.
just like, how did we get there? How did we get to this visual for this fragrance? But I feel like that's when it works, like the Neuralink thing. But yeah, I don't.
Yeah, that's interesting though. Like,
Because with smells as well, it's kind of like certain smells you wouldn't mind from certain people, but
Yeah.
The amount of people I have to block.
exactly, because don't be sending me that ish. Literally, like
you know, be certain man be like, oh, let me send it to him.
Yeah.
What the hell? Yeah.
Yeah, that could end very poorly for all of us.
100%.
it can end many relationships.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't want that.
We did not. Alright, cool. Let me get the second one in. When you explain how you caught someone in a lie, you are training them to be a better liar.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. You know.
Like, if you tell them, oh, I was able to find out you were here because I was tracking your phone.
Yeah.
Turn my phone off.
Yeah.
Or like when they say, oh, when you lie, like I don't know, you blink a lot or something like that.
Yeah, no, I
So-
just blink less.
Yeah.
Or you have to think of 5 other lies to back your lie, the first lie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't like it when somebody says to me, I don't know how to lie. Because I feel like that's a lie.
That's a big lie. That's a
Do
big
you know what I
lie.
mean?
That's a super manipulator.
It's like-
I think the first thing you do is you learn how to lie. When you like,
Yeah.
When you're young.
yeah, when you're young, so you don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
You just
When your
think it's
parents
like,
ask you who did it, you usually say,
Wasn't
me?"
me.
To me, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lie.
and you be like, oh, you be like, that worked? Okay, all right, cool. And then if it doesn't work, you be like, damn, I need to be more convincing.
Yeah, I never trust somebody that says they can't lie because
Yeah.
that's probably a lie.
Those
And
are-
then when they lie, I'm like, I trusted you.
Yeah.
You couldn't
Exactly.
lie. You just lied to me.
I thought you weren't capable of this.
Right?
Nah.
No, it's crazy, man. Alright, cool. The third one is so many things were invented because people were lazy, but so many things weren't invented because people were lazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
But both
Say that
ways.
one more time. I got the second part. I didn't get the first part.
So many things weren't invented because people were lazy.
So
What was
many things were invented because people are lazy, and so many things have not been invented because people.
Oh, okay,
Some
yeah,
people
yeah,
couldn't be, some people
Okay,
couldn't be
yeah,
bothered to invent things. And some people invented things so people could be lazy.
like a car.
Yeah, or like Uber.
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean like Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Okay, Ubi's.
You
But
could
like,
just go to the shop most of the time because most of the time you don't order from far. Like you
Yeah.
order somewhere close to you. More time you could go to the shop.
But at the same time, convenience, innit? How much are you willing to pay for convenience?
Yeah,
That's true.
That's
Uber Eats, I don't even like using Uber Eats because they always increase the price on the menu on Uber Eats,
Don't say that.
and then
Don't say that.
Well, you sponsored by the.
Yeah, exactly.
oh,
My bad.
No, I'm not, but I'm just like, you could be.
Potential
So you,
of other-
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
you love it.
We love Deliveroo, Uber Eats.
Wow, oh my god. You gotta be telling this
man,
people you love them.
that's all of them. Yeah,
All of
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I spent like £50 last week.
Deliveroo always provides optimal service.
There,
The
there we
best.
go.
Yeah, the
The best selection of restaurants from your local.
The driver's always friendly. I even tip them. That's how great they are.
You tip them. You tip them. Okay, crazy. That's nice. You know. That's very. Do you know this? I didn't know J to the Izzle was that generous. I did not know that.
How do you know that either?
When it comes to Uber Eats and Deliveroo, yes.
Say no more. Actually, I was gonna say, what's your favorite delivery? Or actually, what's the favorite thing you like to order from like delivery Uber
Bubble
Eats? Bubble tea.
Okay.
Bubble tea is the bubble tea is the reason why I'm carrying extra pounds on my nyash right now. This tapioca is the reason why. Yeah, but yeah, I could. Yeah, bubble tea. Oh, ooh, no, and Starbucks. Yeah,
They do that.
Yeah.
They do
Actually,
everything.
yeah,
What?
because corner shops on Uber Eats and now as well. So.
Oh my
Bro, you
god.
could order like paracetamol and things like that from.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I think you can even order from Argos or something dumb like that. Like,
Iceland, Sainsbury's, Asda.
That's just crazy.
they're taking over.
Yeah, the day McDonald's came on Uber Eats, I was like, it's finished.
Yeah. Oh, 100.
Come on, McDonald's, that
Of
you
course.
can just.
Yeah.
It takes a couple minutes to get your food. I was just like, yeah, this is it.
What about you?
I'm trying to think.
I think mine is Trap Kitchen.
Okay.
That place is, yeah,
That's nice.
it will knock me out, bro. I don't even care about the price. The food is just waffle, chicken, mac and cheese,
Wow.
even the little prawns on the side.
Did you think the little pro?
No,
The little pro?
those ones you pay extra for. It's like £5, but it's a bit of a bump.
For
but
like
it's worth,
4 little pieces
Yeah,
of prawn. Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
worth
yeah.
it.
But
Yeah.
they're expensive though.
and the sleep after that food, yeah. Oh, it's something else.
I'm starting to eat less food that makes me sleep like that though.
Why?
I don't like it, like, because I can't do anything. That has to be my
Yeah.
dinner. I can't do anything.
That's the
after
whole
that.
point.
That can't be lunch.
You know,
My
I
whole
had
day's
that.
ruined.
I had that and tried to jump on PlayStation with the mandem. you think I was winning the games, bro?
You know when it's loaded, you're just like, nah, let me just
Yes,
quickly
it's
Bro.
close my
wrong,
eyes.
right?
I woke up and like, bro, have you jumped out the helicopter yet? I'm thinking, huh? What? I'm on the other side of the map. It's crazy.
Nah,
What is that? Fortnite?
Oh, nah,
No.
Call of Duty.
Isn't that where you jump out of the helicopter?
Oh,
it's a bus, but yeah.
yeah.
Pretty
but,
much.
But wars
Fortnite,
are,
you jump out of a bus.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like some bus
It's a
in the air.
flying bus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
which is kind of what a helicopter is.
I mean, that's like, well,
A
we
flying
don't say
bus.
anything, but you know.
Helicopter's more like a flying car, though.
No,
It's
I'm
very,
sure a
like,
helicopter's
compact.
more like a flying helicopter.
Wait, what?
I'm sure, like, I don't know.
Nah, I get what you're saying.
Have you thought of your favourite yet?
Probably like Turkish food.
Yeah.
I know one of your favourites, Esther.
Yes. Oh, you got something popcorn? Yeah. Hello.
I heard from someone this is your guilty pleasure.
Who told you that?
Oh, I cannot reveal my.
Was it not me?
I cannot reveal my sauces.
Yeah, I'm sure it was me.
It wasn't you.
It wasn't me.
mm-mm.
Oh no.
Definitely wasn't
This
you.
is the one from Iceland, isn't it?
Yeah.
Banging. What?
You know, I've never actually had it before.
Are you what?
Never had it before.
This
Nah, it's nice.
I am so. I will take that into the cinema with me.
I hear it. I hear
Yeah,
it.
Fair enough.
110%.
Do you guys want to put some in the cups for you guys?
Oh yeah, please. There's gonna be a lot of crunching going on. I apologize in advance.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Oh my god, thank you. It's the Iceland popcorn as well.
That's what we do, guys, on the Out Cheer
Oh my
podcast.
god,
Take care of our guests.
popcorn's so good.
Safe, bro.
You've never had Iceland popcorn before?
No, never.
I'm missing out.
To be honest with you, I'm not even a big fan of popcorn itself. It's like,
Take it back.
it's a bit.
Take that back.
I said, take
No,
it
no,
back.
Take that back.
it's because it's like, because of when it gets stuck in your teeth.
Yeah.
That's I hate that that dilemma because it's like, I can't get it out. Do I need a toothpick? Toothpick isn't really.
Yeah,
And
but
then-
popcorn's more like chicken and like meat and stuff that you take.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So because the shell, it won't get stuck on like a baked place. It'll get stuck like
Oh my god, yeah.
in
Like,
the upper corner.
And it doesn't look like a cap. It just looks like a shell.
Yeah, exactly.
It
At
looks
least
funny.
if it look like a cap, it'd be like, alright, cool, you can style it
Yeah.
out a little bit maybe, but nah, shell.
Because it always covers like half the tooth.
Nah, absolutely ridiculous.
popcorn is like, wow.
Oh, actually, before we get into anything else on today's agenda. Can't believe it. Lizzie.
Yeah, I know.
So sad, man.
It's actually really sad.
We're gonna have to get like new money, new everything.
Yeah. It's literally the end of an era. Like, literally. It's insane.
Rappers are gonna have to start writing new lyrics now.
I'm married to Elizabeth. That's
Yeah, exactly.
no, I can't say
Fell in
that.
love with the Lizzie. What?
No,
Can't say you fell in love with Charlie. What's going on?
Oh,
I mean,
I don't even.
Then
you
you
can
sound-
play off the cocaine, but that would be hard.
Yeah,
Actually.
but if you say you fell in love with Charlie, you sound like a crackhead. That's it.
Who are these lyrics from? Sorry, I'm not.
I
In,
don't
I'm
know.
not
Freestyle
down.
that.
Oh, making them up. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you can play off Charlie cocaine. I love Charlie. That's money. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Wow,
know.
A lot of rappers now, yeah.
Wrong studio, bro.
I try.
All right, cool. What do you want to get into first?
I have a hypothetical if you guys want to get into that.
Hypothetical.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Question. Okay. Would you guys rather go to jail for a year
No.
or leave once you've completed a Rubik's Cube?
What?
Go to jail for a year or
Yeah.
leave once you completed a Rubik's
Leave
Cube?
where?
Jail.
The jail.
Oh,
And it's like solitary confinement.
None of the above, man.
wait, for solitary confinement for both.
Yeah. You're back. Well, no, it's normal prison for the first one, but solitary confinement for the Rubik's Cube.
But
so you
what's
can't-
normal prison?
like, just Gen Pop.
Prison is prison.
I think I'd go there for a year, you know.
Yeah, because I can't complete Rubik's Cube to save my
But
life.
why don't you try it?
No,
No.
but it'll piss me off after like 3 months and I still can't do
And
it.
then in solitary confinement, I'll go mad.
Yeah.
It'll be thrown. What? They open the door like you're out. I'm like Rubik's.
I'll dash it
Rubik's.
on the wall, they'll give me a
Rubik's.
new one. I'll be
So
pissed.
if you don't finish it
Yeah.
after a year, do you still have to stay because you've?
No, you can leave after a year.
Oh, okay.
I can leave after a year.
Yeah.
So the only difference is I have to solve Rubik's Cube.
Yep.
And
To
you
get-
can leave sooner.
But that's keeping you company. It's keeping you busy.
I'm in Gen Pop. I'm with the mandem.
Mandem, you know what, for an hour a day.
Yeah,
man.
man. Like your guys, like, it's prison.
They're my guys now. They're pumping weights together.
Yeah.
Got a little PlayStation in the back.
No, don't do that.
You see how it is in
Don't
HMP.
don't romanticize this,
Yeah,
this
it's true,
situation.
it's true. Stay out of prison, kids.
Free gym, food,
No.
bit of exercise.
Yeah, but you're working for like
Hook me
less
up.
than minimum wage.
Huh?
You're working for like half of minimum wage.
For the king.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, I need
Yeah,
That's
right.
crazy.
Yeah. Bleep this.
Who?
Charles.
What do you mean?
Like his face, he looks a bit.
He was.
I'm not getting involved.
That's what I said. Bleep it. When it's getting released.
He's so important.
Yeah. Yeah.
They all
Yeah,
doing
I mean, yeah, he's white. That's it.
Yeah, but when he was growing up, he was considered one of the most handsome men in the world.
That's happened to all of them.
All the women were going for him, boy.
All of them were like Michael Owen. They just peaked way too early. Because even what's his name, William.
Yeah.
William. Did you see what he was looking at when he was our age, bro?
Yeah.
Which one's William again?
The bald one,
A bald one
Oh
now.
yeah, he's going through it, man.
bro. He lost his hairline earlier than Wayne Rooney, bro.
Yeah.
It was
Mad
crazy.
And
Like
it's funny because the rest of them have hair.
Yeah.
So what happened?
even
Stress, I
Harry,
guess.
stress.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because you know
Maybe this whole Harry situation.
he's next in line now. He's next in line now. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Damn.
Harry, not Harry. Wait, Harry, ginger one. Harry.
Harry.
Yeah, kind
The
of fun.
mandem.
Kind of fun. Kind of fumbled the bag, quitting the royal family though. I can't lie to you.
Do you think so?
Yeah, because like even when they said, you know, when they were on Oprah and they were doing it,
Yeah.
they were like, oh yeah, how like they don't even have to, like they don't have royal security anymore. Like they have to get their own security.
Yeah.
All these other stuff. Like you can't like if they had royal security and whatnot, they're not as accessible as they are now. Like these guys have neighbors and they like walk their dogs with each other and whatnot. If you're royal, you can't really do that.
Yeah. But then at the same time, it's kind of like it's a double-edged sword. It's like, do you want to live a life that's so controlled where like you can't do those things or because for him now it's different, isn't it? He hasn't been able to do those things but now he kind of can. So I guess he's seen two sides of the coin, but
True.
when you, I guess it's when you're on the other side that you always, they say the grass is always greener, innit?
Yeah, true.
So,
I mean, he's still
Yeah.
a millionaire, so
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
he can still afford.
If he was
security.
broke, that'd be different.
Yeah,
Like
and he married a millionaire as well. So,
exactly. Like if it was peak, like they just left him out like,
and then they're left broke.
and I see
Yeah.
my man on the 453. I'll be like,
Just start. If he just starts a podcast, it'll be fine. Get Spotify, it'll be good. Like.
Exactly.
What do you guys think about that though? His. Do you feel like he should have left the royal family?
Yeah, 100%. He seems like one of those people who like.
I think he was actually awake.
Yeah.
I think everyone else is sleeping.
Unless he took the red pill.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
He definitely seems like one of those people where like, he'll be considered a problem child. The media will start spinning things. Oh, he married this woman, and then they'll start dragging his wife every 5 seconds. Like, look how they were Piers Morgan and stuff was dragging her. So
true.
I don't think his choices in life would have.
Yeah, but he was always a wild one. The guy was always partying in Vegas and all them things there. So, yeah, he'd be alright.
Yeah, I mean,
either way, he'd be alright. It's the other one I'm worried for. William.
You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything.
That's what I'm worried. That's exactly why I'm worried, man.
Stress is getting to
him. It's really ruined like his relationship with his family now.
Yeah,
and in African culture they'll be like, "It's the wife. The wife took him away from the family."
Yeah, that's true.
So essentially, she kind of did.
Yeah, and you know, I'm gonna say it because I always say it. I don't know because I was gonna say something about Americans, but.
Every episode we slash them. It's a tradition at this point.
I mean, they're still listening, so I don't mind. They still hear. But yeah, nice. I think that's just the difference between like American people and British people, really. Because British people, when there's a problem, it's like, is what it is. But Americans, like, no, like I wanna.
They're more free.
Yeah, they wanna
emancipate themselves.
Yeah. So that's why the whole Meghan coming out of the royal family and then Harry joining, and I was just like, it's not a surprise to me at all. When they left, I was like, oh, it's about time. I thought she'd do it like earlier. And she's like, the royal family's racist.
Surprise.
Duh.
Kind of like, sister girl, did you not know what you were getting into before you
Google them, bro?
Yeah,
what the hell?
no,
like,
literally.
Even look at their pictures. I'm not gonna lie to you, yeah. Even if I was rich, I'd probably have like self-portraits and all them stuff in the house. But from when Don's posing like this and whatnot, with like swords and all sorts of stolen goods.
You mean they care about BLM?
Exactly.
Dude, bro.
Oh, God.
Nah, man, she should have known. She definitely should have known. Like, this one was 96. Well, it was 96. Rest of her soul. But you know what I mean?
I agree. She should have known. Like, you do your due diligence. You look into. And you can research that family. It's not like a normal family that you have to go on LinkedIn or...
They don't even have a last name.
Go through their Instagram.
What sort of family doesn't have a last name?
No, they do. They do. Yes, they do.
They got like 5.
They have a last name. I just don't know what it is.
Listen,
I'm googling this. I ain't gonna.
You don't call them Mr. Whatever. Or, no one knows their last name. You have to go deep.
Last name like Windsor? No.
I'm sure it's.
Windsor. That's one of them. There's like 3 because they're mixed with Germans as well.
Yeah, because one of the uncles was Mountbatten, so
it's Windsor.
It's Windsor.
And there's another one. It's not just Windsor.
I'm looking at her name. I mean, Queen Elizabeth. Her name's Windsor. Maybe look at
but is that Philip. From her husband?
I don't know at this point.
Because can you see? There's too much mathematics. I don't even know, bro.
But this is what I mean. She should have just done she should have done some research. I mean, she's a grown woman. She should have done it. I think he should have also been like, look, babes, this is the situation.
Well, that's why they left.
And just even crazy. I used to watch that woman on Suits.
Yeah.
Apparently she's not even. She's not anyway. Huh? She's not a great actress.
Nah, she was alright. She wasn't great, but she was alright.
You're just saying that because she's leng.
Nah, she was alright.
I mean,
yeah, I mean, she's nice. I can't lie, she's very pretty.
Really?
She's very pretty.
Oh, she's pretty.
Nah, she was good on Suits.
I was talking about real life.
This is like an Emmy-winning performance, but she was.
Oh, it's not Emmy. She did her job.
Yeah, she was good.
Yeah,
but she wasn't that big a actor on it to be like, oh, she's this great person.
She's one of the main characters.
Oh, really? I didn't watch Suits.
Oh, you didn't?
So she's like
top 9, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't even say top 10.
Cast.
No, she's like top 5.
No,
but she's 5.
Lewis,
Mike,
Harvey,
Donna, her,
Lewis.
Didn't we say Lewis?
You said Lewis.
Lewis, Harvey, Mike, Donna, her.
Jessica.
Actually, yeah, Jessica had a big
Is Jessica the black lady?
Yeah.
See, I know that one. Yeah, she always had the handbags.
Yeah. I like the way she dresses.
Very powerful woman.
Yeah.
Let's get into Estare interview.
That heart.
Just funny. I saw. So even when you posted today, yeah, and you're like, when you're on set for the Marvel and Disney thing, and you're like, look how nervous I looked. I was like,
she don't look nervous.
Exactly. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like you seem like you just like they say action and that's it. You're just cool, level headed all the time.
Really, like wow. I was just a mess. Internally, I was a mess. But I feel like I was able to kind of harness it because I don't know whether I feel like this could be a placebo, but I had my CBD oil, so I was all like, cool. I was like, okay, yeah, I know what I'm doing. No, it's joking. From the plant, but it's not what gets you high. Okay, that part I don't know.
Yeah, I know. The scientifically extracted, so it's safe. Yeah.
When my mom saw me taking it, she was like, so is it drug? Literally. And she wouldn't stop going on about it. Oh, like, maybe like half an hour later, she was just like, so how do you feel? How is it making you to feel?
If you had rubbed your eyes and it was a bit red, you'd be finished.
Exactly.
And if I took a nap, she would have been like, so are you...
So is this the high? Is
this what it does to you? What, I'm just taking a nap. Anyway. So, I'd had that. I just made sure, like, I got good sleep the night before and all of that kind of stuff. So I was, but I was so nervous. Wow, it was unreal. It was my first time, like, presenting and hosting, like, on my own. First time doing it, like, professionally like that anyway. It was a great experience, but I was very nervous. Like, in my head, I was, when you just... nothing can calm you down.
Are my lips greasy?
My face creamed? Everything. And it's just
Did
like...
I cream it too much? Is it going to shine?
I couldn't sit still, so I had cards, so I was just, like, holding the cards.
Do I look awkward? Do I need to look at the cards?
Yeah.
I don't know how to read the cards like this. Like, there's so many things.
Well, then you're probably thinking, I look awkward, but it's like, how do I stop being awkward? And
then you just keep being awkward.
And then you think, how do I look cool? How do I look calm? And then you're trying to look...
And then you start doing something this. Trying to look cool. Wait, yeah.
And there's so much going on as well. Like I'm grateful for like the experience because essentially it's where I want to go with my career. So I'm grateful for that experience, and this is one of the biggest experiences. It wasn't even like an unpaid gig, or it wasn't even like a small helping a friend out. It was like a legit thing. So it was great. But there was even as I was sat there waiting for them to say like do the marker thing, someone's in my ear talking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I've obviously got the guy that's counting down. I've got the auto cue. I've got my cards. I've got the guests.
Yeah.
So then there's so much going on. It's like I need to remember to go from the auto cue, which is at a distance, to go to my cards, make sure I'm smiling all the time, which is not something I do naturally, and but it was really good. But I was nervous as shit.
Like, that's definitely a gift, because if someone's talking, my whole train of thought is gone. If I can hear someone's voice, I might just say what they've told me.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you've got like a listening face. Let's say like when you're listening to a voice note when you're like really concentrating. So I had to make sure I wasn't like doing like the listening face. And then I'm zoning out, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I've got smile.
Yeah. It's like, smile. Wait, smile. Also.
Yeah, right. But it was great. Yeah, it was great. But I was very nervous. Ooh, wow. But you have to just push through it. I think with everything that I do, I'll really stand there and I'll be scared as heck. But I'll just push through it. Yeah.
Nah, that's good. So you said that's where you want to take your career.
Yeah.
In terms of like presenting.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Talk us through the start, because I remember you started doing YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And you were doing stuff like how to create a wig, how to tie a headscarf.
Yeah.
So talk us through the journey from there to presenting.
Yeah, how did you even get started on you? Like, how did you know? No, I can do this YouTube thing.
Oh, I didn't. But I think I was just in a position where I had the resources, and I kind of just used what I had. So I was at uni, and we could hire out equipment. Any kind of equipment you want, like literally anything.
Oh, that's
so lit. I took like a big boy camera. At the time, it was like a Canon 650D or something like that. Took it home. At the time, that was a big boy camera. Took it home, recorded a video, edited it, put on YouTube, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And everyone was like, oh, it's a really good video. You should keep doing it. And I remember Temi and Torsten, they were like, yeah, just be consistent. And I was like, I don't want to do this. But everybody was just saying like it's good and I should keep going. And I was like, okay, we'll see how it goes. Like, let's let's take more equipment and let's like play around. So I did that, and then I kind of transitioned into like doing videos for brands, and then eventually my focus was more like Instagram, and then all the other platforms then started popping up, and you have to try and keep up with all of that as well. But I was just sharing things that I really liked, and me making wigs on YouTube was me learning how to make wigs.
Okay.
So I was learning and sharing that process with everybody. Like me doing makeup on YouTube was also me learning how to do makeup for my kind of like ethnic nose and like my kind of like face and things like that. And it was like all these new makeup trends were coming up, and it was almost like you had to be at a certain level to be able to afford the products. I know how to do it, but I was like, okay, I'm not there, and I never want people to think I'm unobtainable, unreachable. I wanted to keep everything that I do like really real and really like fresh, fun, down to earth and whatever. So then I got into traveling, and that kind of fell into my lap as well. And I was like, oh, I like this. I want to do more of this. And just by the grace of God, everything I've said that I kind of really like and I want to do more of, I've had the opportunity to like really dig deep and get into. And I started traveling at a time where there weren't many Black travel content creators. And almost like these places I was going to was like, oh my God, wow, how'd you get to Bali? And it's like 2 flights from London Heathrow. You land in Indonesia and you're in Bali. Like, that's how you do it. But at the time, people were just like, oh, all these like uncharted, luxurious destinations. And I really felt like, no, it's not. Like, if I can do it, like you can honestly. So then I was educating people a bit more on how to like get into the luxury travel space. And then obviously being an influencer kind of now is like a thing that everybody wants to do. So then I'm trying to like educate people on that kind of like that, how to navigate the space. Because when I first started, there was no such thing. You were just a YouTuber. There was no Instagrammer. There's no TikToker, just YouTuber or a blogger. And then obviously now people use the word influencer, which I don't really like to be called. I prefer to be called a content creator.
Why do you like influencer?
Because I don't think my job is to influence. My job is to inspire, and if then that comes with a level of influence, then that's cool. But my job is to create great content that you can digest and inspires you. And if you're influenced by it, good. If you're not, like I don't want my job to be an influencer, whereas everything I share, people feel like they must run out and get it or do it.
Exactly.
Now that you said that,
like I would rather you just enjoy the content, and if you're inspired by anything within the content, then cool. If not, if it just helps you to take your mind off your worries for the day, that's good too. Yeah. So now I just hope to get into presenting, because essentially what I was doing on YouTube was presenting. When I talk about brands, when I talk about like, if I'm even breaking down something, how to make a wig or whatever, I'm essentially presenting it to you. So I've had that experience. So when we were recording, because I recorded it last weekend, they were like, have you done this before? And I'm like, no, but I present on YouTube. Like I can sit there and tell you about a bag, and I can make you want to buy it. But I've never done any like professional presenting before. Yeah.
Cool. That's what I was going to say, because when you were on YouTube, when you said you started where it was a time where there was no Instagram, you started 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Because back then, you're talking about like, there was even the whole YouTube scene. There wasn't necessarily a YouTube scene like that.
No.
Yeah, because like you post things that you care about, and if people watch it, people watch it. Type of thing. That wasn't like, oh, you could do this on YouTube, you do that, and you're gonna get paid this and that. It was more so like you're just posting
people
content.
Just posting stuff.
Yeah. So how was it sort of at that? Obviously, you said that you didn't necessarily want to do it, but you felt like obviously you're saying that 10 minutes. That's what I'm saying. You just be consistent with it. So how did you feel in that space where it's like you don't necessarily know where this is going, but people seem to like it and you're interested in it, so you're like, just keep going?
So I think I was probably one of a part of the generation who began making a living off of YouTube in the UK.
Oh,
so
really?
because obviously, like you said, there are people that post on YouTube, but you kind of post and you leave it, and no one's checking for you like that. But I was then like really, really, I would sit with my laptop and I would email brands from morning till night. I'd be like, my name is Esther. This is what I do. I create amazing content. This is my numbers. These are my stats. I'd love to work with you. I charge £50. Literally. And that was me. I remember I used to like get £50 per video. And the video can be whatever I wanted. Sometimes it could be half an hour, 15 minutes. But by the time PayPal take their fees, I got like £35.
Oh, yeah.
No, literally, and then that was it. And I said to my sister, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna do YouTube full time. But I wasn't earning any money, you know. But then as you learn more about the business of it, and I guess as the business started to as the industry started to expand and really develop, I would like to think that I was one of the people who kind of was there at the start of it, before it was really an industry, before we had any like, before the advertising standard authority or those guys, before they had made any rules. We were just winging it. It was just like, okay, so we charge for this, post it, get paid, work with more brands. And then when I jumped onto Instagram, that was when it was like, okay, this is serious. I have to be a lot more professional. And so I took down a lot of my nonsense posts, like a lot of the nonsense posts with all the filters and all the borders. And I kind of rebranded, and I just took it seriously from there.
Going back to that £50 thing, how much hours would you say you spent on making the video and then to get paid £50? Because let's like put it in terms of per hour, so people can understand how much you're working for.
Gosh, so it probably would take me about 30 minutes to film a video. If it was like depending on what it is, if I'm making a wig, then that could literally take me like perhaps 4 hours. So I'll make the wig for 4, but I'm filming this whole process. So I'm changing angles, I'm making sure things are detailed, and I'm zooming in. And so I'm director, I'm DOP, I'm producer, I'm editor, I'm star, I'm everything in one. And then I do the video where I sit down and talk about it. And then the editing can maybe take me another like hour.
Damn.
Yeah. But then my Wi-Fi, my internet wasn't great. So upload could take like 5 hours. Yeah.
So damn.
So
like less than £5 an hour.
and back then the internet wasn't as strong as it is now. So
so that would take you forever to upload, and I think it was easier to get views back then because people were more laser focused on what they were going on YouTube for. Whereas now it's a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Now you go on YouTube and you see something else and you see something else and you discover somebody, but before it was just like, okay, I know this person posts about this, I want to go and watch that. She's got a new video, I want to watch it. It was easier to kind of build a following on all platforms back then compared to now.
That's interesting still, because sometimes I just think about like how much work you actually put in. Like when we edit the podcast and do all these things, I'm like, I've actually spent like 3 hours editing 1 hour of audio.
Yeah.
Like this, like if I was at work, like I'd be getting paid way more than this. Like,
and I guess it's also the hours that aren't seen, because I'm pretty sure there's been times where you might have done a video and then it's like, oh, something's gone wrong, like with the camera, or
there'll be this little sound in the back. You're just like,
and then it's like you have to do it again, which is it's just like, oh, then that's a whole nother. It's just like #2 of everything that you just put in, and then it's just a lot of sacrifice behind the scenes that people just don't really see.
These wigs aren't free as well, so like if you make a mistake, you might have to buy a new one, or you might have to buy this product and this product.
Wigs are not cheap, you know.
Oh, they're not cheap, no. But I mean, back then they were cheaper, but they're not cheap. And even now, like sometimes when I work with brands and they give you a brief and they tell you what they want and you shoot everything, you think it's amazing, you send it to them and they're like, no, you need to reshoot. It's like, I'm sorry, what? You need to reshoot that. So it's like you said, it's all the hours that people don't see as well. It can, and that's why when people are like, I want to be an influencer, I'm like, okay, why do you want to be an influencer? Like, what is it? Because it looks nice? Because there's a lot of work. You know, and I was even saying to my friends recently that I literally feel like I've gotten to the place where I'm like, okay, I've done this. What's next? Like, because if this were a regular 9-to-5 job, I'd be looking for another job, innit? Because when you feel like you're no longer fulfilled to a degree, you would kind of move on.
Look for a new challenge.
You look for a new challenge. So, but you know, because I love creating so much, I just need to channel my creativity elsewhere. Instead of saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna do
done."
this. I just need to kind of like channel it elsewhere. But
So is that why? So I guess that's probably the reason why you signed up for the YouTube. Instagram creators thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I saw that. So for those of you that don't know, I'll just give like a brief overview.
Oh, go on, then let me hear this.
Go on.
If
I say something wrong, I'm just gonna be like,
you won't.
I'll give you the contract right now.
Exactly.
That's what I do.
No, so basically, so it was you and I think, was it 2 other creators?
Four of us? 4 of us in total.
Oh,
But that's
Okay, yeah. So Esther and other creators, so they I guess put out this competition where people had to sort of tell you why they want to be an influencer and like show their page, and then you selected a few. You spent the day with them creating content, advising them, and it's, I guess, sort of what you were saying really, because you like creating content so much. It feels like I've done this, I've been there at the start, so let me go and channel that creative energy into helping someone else make their start. So how was that process for you?
So actually, Instagram reached out to me.
Have I got that right?
Instagram reached out to me and they said that they have this like new perspective. I guess they want to roll it out every year, and I think it'll be great if they do. Essentially, they just want to like champion emerging creators, and obviously, Instagram is like one of the biggest social platforms ever. So I think I wanted to be a part of it because, again, I've been there from the start and I know what it's like when you want to do something like this, like be a creator, but it's like no one wants to help you. No one has the answers. No one's got the the recipe. Like, it's like, what do I even do? Especially in this day and age. So it was only right for me to do a project that helped other creators create on the platform. Yeah, and just give them like the advice, so the business side of things, because I mean, it's easy to pick up a phone or your camera and take a picture and post it, right? But if you're trying to get into the business side of things, if you're trying to work with brands, if you're trying to build your personal brand, it's like, what do you look out for in contracts? What kind of terminology do you look out for? What kind of, I don't know, what are you after? Like, what kind of brands are you strategizing to work with? It's that's the part of things that people don't see. So yeah, that's why I really wanted to just work with emerging creators on that, and I got Amina involved and Johnson involved. I've known them for like my entire career. So it was only right that I had like them on board to also share like advice and shed light on what they do and how best they do it. And it was really successful, and having the backing of Instagram is just like, you can't tell me nothing. You're like, come on. Instagram are telling me to do this for you. Come on, this is so I made it. I wanted it to kind of be like one of the shows I used to watch back in the day, America's Next Top Model. I used to think I was going to be a model in it. I used to be like, if I go on America's Next Top Model, I am winning this shit. But I wanted it to be like that, so just had a whole day where we were in this amazing house and just brought them on and was like, just create really cool content, but made it fun, put some challenges here and there, and it was good. Definitely like a highlight of my career. Do you know, it's so funny because like sometimes I can sit down and be like, oh, I'm so tired of this, like what do I do now? But then when I think about some of the things that I have been blessed to do, it's like, all right, that's actually really cool. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, I needed it.
No problem. No.
Yeah, so
I think someone said like gratitude is the best way to deal with like anxiety and all those bad emotions. Like when you look back at how far you've come, you're like, maybe I'm not as bad as I might think. You know, sometimes we're harsh on ourselves.
Oh yeah,
that's
so
true.
Like gratitude definitely like helps you to appreciate where you are. And look forward.
Conversation I was having with my friend the other day as well. It's just like if we're not grateful for the things that I'm a Christian, so it's like if I'm praying to God for something. Like imagine 10 years ago, I was saying to God, I want to be where I am now. And it's like, I'm now here, but I'm just like, okay, what's next?
You're like, oh, Kylie Jenner's my new mark. You're like, God's looking at you like, look at where you are now.
Yeah,
look
exactly. No, literally. So he was just like, you need to take a minute and just, and this was probably like on Tuesday. So I did the Marvel recording on Saturday, and then by like Tuesday or Monday, I was already like, okay, what's next? And he was like, relax, like take a minute and appreciate what you've done and just thank God for it, you know. And I was like, actually, you're right.
I think that's sort of like how everyone is nowadays as well, to be honest. Like when something happens, they're always looking like, oh, like what's next? What's next? But I feel like if you're always looking up, you kind of forget what you're
in front of you. Yeah, it's true. Like, that's true.
Yeah, I think that affects a lot of industry, especially like music as well. Like an artist will drop one of their best projects ever 2 weeks later. man, they're not even consistent like that anymore. They're not hungry. They don't even want it like that. Like, bro, I've spent 2 years making this project, and now you guys want another thing. Like, just enjoy, digest it.
True.
If it's not for you, listen to someone else. But don't expect me to keep pumping, because we also hate when people just flood the market with nonsense. So sometimes you need to appreciate when someone's putting the effort, putting the quality.
I feel like that's probably how J Hus feels.
Yeah.
He hasn't released the album in like 2 years.
Yeah, I've listened to Big Conspiracy again, and I'm like, this isn't my favorite J House project of all time, but this is like a very good project.
Yeah,
I didn't even think it'd been that long, but
2020.
My son still bangs it as much as he should not. He's not for his age. He's still very much a fan of that album.
Yeah, it's good, and it's like, I think because everything's sort of, we're in like a readily available era where everything is sort of like, everything's microwaved.
Pace.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's it.
It's ridiculous.
It's moving so quickly. Like, we really should just relax. It's a TikTok era.
Yeah. Do you ever see these new influencers be like, damn, I have to do this as well? Like, tired. Like,
oh my God.
These guys keep me on my toes.
Yeah, no, I do. Sometimes I see some of the trends, but I've always said to myself, even from when I was on YouTube, like, I'm not going to follow trends. If people are using forks to do their eyeliners, it's not going to be me. Like, all that mad stuff that was just too much. I don't know how to do it. I can't do it. I just can't.
I mean, you could get sturdy pretty well, so I'll give you that.
Yeah,
At least you can pick up some trends.
But do you know what? It's because of Coco. It's my son. If I had a go, I believe I'd probably be doing some silly trend here or there, or prancing around in matching clothes. Like, we don't do that with Coco already. But I just, it's a lot. And if you're trying to keep up with everything, then you don't have your own lane, you like your own identity. Niche. Yeah, you need to have like what makes you you. And I'd like to think what makes me me is the fact that my stuff's great quality, and you won't find what I'm doing anywhere else. I have to say that.
Even the getting sturdy stuff is like, it's just one reel, one TikTok. It won't be like all you do is get sturdy now.
Exactly.
As much as people like it, my knees, I need them for many, many more years to come, and I can't keep doing that.
That shows you who has knees and who doesn't.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I've seen these young guys just go on the floor, be doing this stuff. I'm like, hey, I ain't
bro, why do you think on Sunday when you like get sturdy, I was like, like,
who? Nah.
You know these knees are glass, bro. Yeah, if I go down, I ain't coming back up. I'll tell you that for free.
That routine that me and my son do, whenever he has to do the down bit, I just stand there.
Yeah, you just
I just stand there, and when he's the work, we continue
hype
the
them up,
routine.
be grabbing their shirt.
Exactly.
Honestly, but I love it for this his generation. I think he was born in such an incredible time in terms of like technology and even what's to come in the next 10 years. Because when I think about 10 years ago, the industry, there was technically no industry that I'm in now. So imagine in 10 years time,
Yeah, because now you could just literally do anything, and that would be like a talent. Like back then it would be like music.
Yeah, and I feel like if it was like 10 years ago, to get into sort of stuff where you're presenting or you're with brands, you have to be
more traditional. Radio.
It would be like it's like you're an actor, and then you might do it on the side where it's like you're, how can I say it? You're not a serious actor, but you're like a comedian or someone who's also an actor. So that's how you get into presenting. Or you're like, with no offense, like a washed up artist. You know how like they get like, I don't like saying washed up, but how artists, they've been popping years ago, and then it's like, oh yeah, I remember his face, but now he's on American Idol.
Experienced artist.
Experienced artist. Yeah. Well seasoned. Yeah. Them guys.
Well seasoned. No, for real. Yeah. I mean, we're like this, and I feel like we're in an era where people can create the opportunities.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like 4 years ago, podcasts weren't really a thing. Like now, it's amazing that you can hear from your people who aren't particularly like celebrities or like big people in any kind of industry, but you can kind of like get into their minds and just sit down and just listen.
Yeah, like now if I want to hear what a Canadian thinks about Drake, I can
go
and find a podcast, listen
and
to
it
what
doesn't have
to
to be YouTube. It can just be like it's you can have it wherever you're going. Like you don't have to watch it. And
exactly. Spotify.
Apple Podcasts,
wherever.
Yeah, Spotify. Yeah.
Yeah, man. We need to have a talk. But yeah, no. About the industry, one thing I really wanted to ask you, because again, you were one of like the founding members in terms of the content creators. I was gonna say influencer, but content creators wave, and especially being a black woman as well.
Yeah.
What are like the challenges you faced? Because I obviously not black women, but I can imagine.
No.
Oof, that's a poorly timed joke, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today. Might want to take that bit out.
It's not my bad. I was watching Dave Chappelle before I came here, so it's something
gosh.
right.
Yeah, that's even a South Park skit where Cartman turned into he identified as a woman just so he could use their toilets. That was literally the whole episode.
Are you joking?
They've just that's all they were doing, taking the piss out of it.
And this was made how many years ago?
Just like 3 years ago. It wasn't that long ago.
Wow.
That episode's hilarious.
That's hilarious. But yeah, back what I was saying. So, as a black woman, how have you found it navigating through the industry? Because I think I could sort of say that from what I've seen, because I'm not in the industry or whatever, but from what I can see, it's predominantly there's not a lot of representation for a lot of people like us.
Or be colorism in there as well.
Yeah, and
things like that.
Like the way you were saying when you first started doing the makeup stuff, a lot of videos for black girls learning how to do makeup or wigs 10 years ago, that was not the thing. Like
it was people like myself doing it.
Yeah. So how did you find sort of going into the industry and then finding those sort of struggles? How did you overcome those? Or
do you know? I always like to say that I'd never really pay attention to them until it's like it's the obvious. Until it's like in my face. But another thing I've always said is like just be so good at what you do that they can't deny you access. Just be so good at what you do that they have to let you be a part of it, you know. And I know people always say this like, oh, why do we want to be invited to the cookout? Why don't we just have our own cookout? Why do we want to be invited to the table? Or why do we want to sit at the table? Let's just make our own table. But at the end of the day, like sometimes you need one person in there in order for other people to come behind, like or come in as well. And I mean, there were some instances where it was painfully obvious. Like I do like trips and stuff. When I first started doing travel content, I do trips and stuff, and I was literally the only black girl on the trip amongst maybe like 10 other white girls. And it's just kind of like, okay, you telling me that, okay, I get it. I'm good, but you can't find anybody else that has good content, because I could show you a whole bunch of other people. And it's obviously what you digest that you will also like, I guess, because on Instagram it's what you take in or what you digest, what you interact with, what you engage with. It's going to feed you more of that. And if you're not diverse in what you engage with, then you're not going to get that. But the problem for me with that was the fact that these people higher up in these companies weren't mindful of the fact that they weren't working with black people. You know, they weren't mindful of the fact that, okay, as I'm scrolling, I'm actually not seeing any black people, any Asian people, any... They
just think it's just talent. Like,
they just think it's just, okay, these are just talented people. Okay, I get it, they're talented, but they're all white people.
It's like they're just looking at the talent pool, but they don't realise that the pool is not... There's nothing else inside the pool apart from what's there. No, and I guess you need some, like, there has to be a time like the BLM movements, and was it not 2020? Was it 20? Yeah, 2020.
2020. There had to be times like that, but I think the only time it's effective is if obviously these people make changes. And after that, it was kind of proven that a lot of these companies, a lot of it was just performative, and a lot of it was just like in the moment and for that moment. And even having to speak to some of these companies that I worked with, like, yeah, I can't lie, like I went on a trip with you twice and I was the only black girl. That's not okay. Like, you don't understand the position you're putting me in for my audience.
Yeah, and then they'll start saying, oh, you're the token black person.
Yeah.
And then they'll start calling you names like, oh,
Uncle Tom.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, but like, we have to move with the times. And I think as long as everybody learns, you hope that people learn from their past mistakes and kind of move on from it. And again, I had to kind of be somebody that said, okay, if you're going to act like this, I can't work with you. As much as it's a bag, and as much as it's money, as much as it's food on the table, and as much as it's, you know, bread to eat, I can't work with you because I don't agree with what you stand for. And even if you don't say you don't stand for it, it's obvious. You know, you can't really hide. You walk into your office and, you know, it's not cool.
It's very stiff.
It's just very bright. in there. It's just very white in there.
Yeah.
It's a mountain.
There's no color. There's no spice. There's
Did it
nothing.
snow in here? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
You need them ski goggles.
Yeah.
But
That's crazy.
I've had moments in my career where it's been like that. But again, now I just like to think of it as, okay, hopefully it's for my talent and not just because of my skin color, not because they want to, tick a box. But again, you do still go to some events and you're like, oh, this is odd.
So how would you recommend like a company moving forward integrates black people where it's not like tokenism, where it's just like these two creators in October, we're gonna give them their time and then the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But people still do that though, and they still do it for like Pride Month as well.
Yeah.
It's like the companies will work with, people who identify as, gay, lesbian, bi, or whatever in that month, and it's like they're heavy with it in that month.
Yeah, the face of the business.
Yeah, for the rest of the year, that's it. But I think it definitely starts from higher up. You need to have people within the business that can really educate everybody else in the business on how to even like speak to black creators. If I went to send my piece of content for like approval back to a brand, and you're telling me to change certain words, if it's not a grammatical error, or if it's not like, do you know what I mean? If it's not, if I don't have a punctuation in the right place, I get it, correct that. But at the same time, if I'm using terms or words that mean something to me or my community, you need to leave that in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need to let me talk like that. I'm not speaking, I don't, my English is not terrible. So you need to leave that there. You need to let people be who they are. And that comes from whether it's somebody that grew up in the hood or somebody that a white person that grew up in Cambridge and had a very privileged life. But it definitely starts from higher up. There needs to be people who are consulting for these brands, and it needs to be just more than one person.
Yeah. Because that's
more
the problem.
Than one person.
One person will do it, they'll get fired because they made a mistake and they thought it was a monolith, but no, like.
And they're taking the heat for every anything to do with black people. Is that one person? They need them in the meeting. They need them in the meeting. It's too much, you know. So it needs to be a very, very balanced, and not just a woman, or not one man, or one. You need a nice, good,
like a team,
good team, for sure.
And also picking the right person for whoever's gonna lead this. Like if it's DNI or whatever, whoever's gonna lead DNI, you need to make sure that they are someone who qualifies for it.
Because if you want to target, like, let's say where we're from or our demographic, you can't get someone who's from like Scotland.
Oh, exactly.
He doesn't really know how it is on ends or what the right thing. Just because they're black and maybe they dress a bit the same, doesn't mean we have the same dialect or whatever.
It's ridiculous.
It's true.
Bleep what I'm gonna bleep the company name. No. I'm protecting myself, bro. So basically. One other thing I wanted to ask, in like a sort of, I guess, it's going to sort of segue into the next segment as well. But how do you think it is being a mother in the industry as well? And like, I guess, knowing in this day and age, obviously, your son, he has Instagram and all sorts of social media and whatnot.
Very controlled.
Yeah, as it should be.
That's we can get into that as well.
So how do you feel like it is you being in the industry, and has there ever been a time where it's like, I don't feel like I want to, I guess, work with certain brands because it might look a bit weird or, that sort of thing. Has that ever?
So firstly, I feel like work-life balance for what I do is, it's to some degree, it's easier than having your regular like 9 to 5.
Okay.
I say that because I essentially work from home. So I'm at home most of the time unless I've got like an event or I've got meetings or whatever. But especially in the last like 2 years, like post-pandemic, or post-COVID or post the first lockdown.
I get what you're saying.
I don't even know which era we're going to like.
Post-2020, let's say.
Yeah, post that time. A lot more things are like virtual. So you don't actually physically need to be in places. And obviously it's only really like this year that events are happening again. So in terms of that, it's a lot easier. And I feel like if the work from home culture was bigger 10 years ago, I probably wouldn't have had to make so many sacrifices, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also have to kind of like make sure I'm present as a mother if I'm traveling a lot, for example, and I'm grateful for my family that I have so much like support and help when I do have to go away. But again, as a parent, regardless, it's hard. It's hard being away from your child for so long, and kind of like as he's a teenager and not being there for like maybe a week or something, and I come back and he's so different, and I'm like, oh man, like now I need to be mom again. I need to be She-Hulk again. Like a couple of days, so he gets himself in check. But aside from that, like I cannot see myself doing anything else. I can't see myself having to be in an office at 9 o'clock in the morning, sitting at the same desk every day. Like I'm so grateful that I don't have to do that, because I don't think I would have. I don't think I can survive in that kind of environment. And it proper scares me. That kind of environment scares me. But in terms of working with brands, I've never had to. I think it was only maybe like Flat Tummy Tea, that company that when you say drink this tea, it makes your stomach flat. Just those brands that I've been like, no, just not. It's not part of my lifestyle, so I can't promote something like that. But yeah, I've never really been in a position to have to turn down a brand because of morals. Okay. Not really. But I do get people saying things like, oh, how can you post like pictures of yourself in this kind of way when you have a child? And
yeah, that's what I was going to touch on next.
My thing is just like, he's going to see a female body at some point in life. Yeah. He's probably on YouTube and seeing all these kind of stuff, even if it's just a girl in a bikini. It's like, he has access to the internet, so he's probably come across this kind of stuff. And he's seen his mum in a bikini. We've been on holiday together. So I don't want him to feel like the female body is just overly sexualized, that whenever he does see a female body, it's like, oh my God, boner, I need to get one off. It's like, no, you need to understand that the body is the body. When you find the love of your life and when you are married and you get into things that adults get into, I
like she's married first.
Just so he knows. That's when you can just, do that thing that adults do. But I don't want him to feel like, I don't know. It would be hypocritical of me for him to say to him that like, don't look at the girl in the bikini, or because he's a human being. He has feelings, and if he was to see something a woman or a girl he finds attractive, obviously things are gonna move. I don't know what age it starts to happen, but
he's 15, isn't it?
14.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It depends his friend group as well, because sometimes your brothers might introduce you to something.
Yeah.
You know them deviants, bro. Yeah.
You don't know who Tiana Trump is, and then you just Google her name, and then now you're down that rabbit hole. I swear that's all it is. Because they'll be having a conversation,
it's so true,
and they'll be laughing, and you just be there like, I don't know who this person is.
We're not trying to make her worried, Now she has to worry about his friends.
I'm worried already.
She's gonna be listening in the PlayStation chat.
I will be.
It doesn't matter how good these friends are. It just.
I mean,
it
these things come up, but I don't want him to feel like. And myself, my body is not like, I'm not voluptuous in that way, so I don't feel like it's over sexualized. I'm not doing too much. Like I'm just in a bikini posing or on a beach or taking shots. And I want him to know that life is life. Like you can have a good time, but you don't have to let things kind of like take over you. So if you like a drink with your friends, when you go out, socialize, have a drink. If you want to share it on social media, share it on social media. You shouldn't be made to feel like it's a bad thing. And I always have conversations with him about things like that anyway. So I feel like I want him to be mature enough to make his own like decisions, whether or not he's gonna like engage in certain bits of content or things online or whatever. But at the same time, just giving him the advice, like be wise about it. Just be wise about it. Yeah. And don't let me catch you, because body school. Oh God. So we have conversations about it. And I remember when, I don't even want to expose him, because he will never forgive me. But when things were happening with his body, like we had conversations about it, and I have to be mum and dad. So it's difficult for me, because I've never been in a position to know what happens with a man's body, but I can only support and tell him like, it's not a bad thing, so don't worry. It just means that you're normal and everything's functioning as it should. It's
that's crazy. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, how is it? Because obviously you said it's controlled, his social media.
Yeah.
So how is it because obviously, you know what goes on in all sorts of, well, not all sorts, but like, you know what's out there in terms of the internet and Instagram and TikTok and whatnot.
Different rabbit holes you can go down.
Yeah.
So how do you, as a mother, knowing all this information, try and keep him away from it without making it seem like you own his social media and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah. I mean, so when he opened his Instagram, I didn't know he had opened it, so I was a bit upset about that. Yeah. But he's always wanted to be on YouTube, and he's always wanted to be on these platforms. And obviously, I think seeing me do what I do, that's kind of giving him the fuel for it. But I think, if anything, I've been very blunt. Like, you're 14 years old, or even when he was maybe 12, 13, however, whatever age he was, I was like, you're so age. At the end of the day, you're a minor. So as much as you feel like you're a big boy, you're not. And I need to put these things in place. The last conversation we had was when we just landed back from Orlando. Great week, by the way. And then he was like, oh, Mum, can you take screen time off my phone? And I was like, no. I was like, I can't, because you've had your phone for the entire week. I haven't said anything. You've got school tomorrow. So I can't take screen time off because it's now time to start winding down. And he was like, oh, but none of my friends have screen time. And I was like, that's not my business. I said, however their parents choose to parent them, to raise them, that's on them. But the way I'm going to raise you is that you're still a minor. Now that there's school tomorrow, you need to start weaning yourself off your device. You need to start getting into school mode. Doesn't mean you're not going to get your phone next weekend, but it just means let's control this for now. And obviously on things like TikTok, when he posts stuff, there was a video that he wanted to do, and he was like, oh, I want to post it, but I'm not looking forward to the comments. It was a video about me, and he was like, oh, I don't want people saying like stuff about you and whatnot. And I was like, okay, well, we can filter the comments, so we can put words in that so they won't come up in the comments. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. So at least I can teach him certain things, and I guess I'm in a better position because I do it for work and I know a lot about these like platforms and stuff. I can teach him because as a parent, you're winging it every day, but it's even better when you have some kind of experience and you can tell them like, okay, I'm telling you not to do this, but this is the reason why, or let me help you because I know how to kind of make it easier for you. But with all that said and done, it's not easy. Like, he'll still argue with me, and it could still be like we can really, really get into it because obviously he's at that age now. But I can't lie. Ultimately, I'm mum, and what I say goes. Until you're of a big man age. For now, you can't really tell me nothing. Yeah,
but I think that discipline definitely like is good, because I remember like in secondary school, people would be sometimes on their phones sneaking it, and when you think of it, that's kind of an addiction. Like if you saw someone vaping in class, it's technically the same level as someone always on their phone. And sometimes all your friends are in class. Messaging?
No, that's my other thing as well. When my son, I think it was the last day of school, and he was like, "Can I take my phone to school?" And I'm like, "No." The people you're going to be messaging are in the school. Yeah. So what do you want to do? You just want to get in trouble for the people that you can talk to. And
then when he's in university and he's by himself, he's still messaging people. Like sometimes you need to be able to, okay, this is work time. Yeah. This is phone time. Because sometimes you'll be doing absolutely nothing, like nothing fulfilling. Like, some people will be like, oh, I'm working through my... Sometimes you're just on Instagram scrolling. Like, if we're being honest with ourselves. So sometimes it is good to have that boundary where it's like, okay, work, playtime, maybe watch a YouTube video, whatever, rather than just all the time on your phone.
It's actually so true. You don't actually need your phone in school.
Come on.
Like literally at all.
Because I think for a while, even my mum was the same. Well, it was like, I leave my phone at home. Well, actually, I didn't even have a phone until like 8 or 9, I don't think. And even then, it was like, leave your phone at home. When you come back, it was the norm. And then people obviously were just like in school. This is like BBM times. Pingings going off all the time, all the lights and whatever.
You're in the class with each other.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like, what's going on? And I was always that person where it was like, not that I was like on Smash or anything, but it was like, my mum was strict and everyone else's parents weren't. So it was like when they're having their phones and whatnot, and these men are going XYZ, it's like, I'm not privy to it because I don't have my phone on me in school whilst everything's going around. Because you know how kids are. They'll be texting each other in different classes and whatnot behind the teacher's back. And then it's like, if I'm seeing all these texts when I get home, I'm like, oh, I've missed the motive. I've missed.
Missing out is mad.
Exactly. So I can sort of understand the counter argument, but because I guess I've been in a similar situation that you put Coco in, I can sort of understand the benefits as well, because like even today I don't really need my phone like that. If I didn't have my phone in the studio, I don't really care. You know what I mean? So I guess it does build up that sort of tolerance.
I would like to think so. And it's my thing is like for his age and his brain, as much as he looks like a grown child, his brain is only 14 years old. That's not a very long time, you know. So it's really the habits that you cultivate from now, and it's kind of the habits that your kids also see you cultivating, and kind of the lifestyle that you lead, that will essentially like have an effect on them. And hopefully you want to lead by positive example, isn't it? But yeah, I don't know. It's more what his friends are doing that I feel like. It's more what your friends are doing that you want to do. When you're a kid, it's like, oh, my friends doing it, I want to do it. My friends, I want to do it. But if your friends all sat home and read their books and came to school the next day and was like, I read this amazing novel, let me tell you about it. You're going to want to be like, okay, right, I want to go home.
Because you don't want to be left out.
You don't want to be left
out.
out.
Anyone who doesn't know, and then they'll have their inside jokes.
Exactly. So if
FOMO is real.
It's all about FOMO, but also discipline. And I think that's one thing like my parents really put into me is the discipline. Like, because I just saw my mum, she worked all the time and she worked very hard. Not to say that I had a great lifestyle, I didn't get everything I wanted growing up, but subconsciously I saw that my mum was a really hard worker. So naturally, for some reason, it's just within me to just want to always do more and push and get more. And so yeah, hopefully my child will see that as well.
So do you feel like you're keeping the culture within him, or do you feel like it might be, as the society is getting more liberal and like new ideas and stuff? Because sometimes your friends, the things that they'll say is like, do I want to be African, or do I want to keep that tradition? Because then they'll start saying, oh, you're fresh, you're doing this, you're doing that. Do you feel like he's still in touch? That type of way?
Very much so, very much so. Even when I hear him talking with like an accent sometimes, I think it's hilarious. I'm like, where'd you get that from? But obviously it's like the household, it's the family and stuff. But yeah, no, he's I think in terms of his upbringing, he's very much confident in like his background and his and things like that. But I guess it's just more when it comes to anything that's slightly challenging with like discipline. Obviously kids, he doesn't like it. Does not like it at all. Like, you cannot tell him nothing. It's just, and we are the same, he will just argue. And it's like, but I've said what I've said, I'm not gonna keep arguing. Like I've said what I've said. And obviously I'm younger as well, so sometimes he feels like he can just giddy go and wrestle me to the ground, and I have to really just like beat his ass, and you know what I mean? Like, we have that dynamic. So when I'm being serious and I'm like upset about something, he still wants to like have a giggle, but it's like, nah, bro, I'm actually dead serious.
I was gonna say one thing that you said earlier, where you were like, oh, you're so grateful that he's born in a generation where, like, essentially the sky's the limit. And touching with what you said, like the whole culture and being African and whatnot. I know sort of when we were growing up, it wasn't necessarily like that. And I know for you guys, like obviously hearing from like Temi and Tosin or whatever, when you guys were his age, being Nigerian, especially,
it wasn't cool.
Might as well just say Jamaican at that point.
No, everybody was Jamaican.
So how do you feel like nowadays, where it's like Nigerian is so
cool?
I don't like saying it because it sounds like it's kind of corny or whatever, but it's like actually being Nigerian or even just being African is socially accepted, and it's just like there's so much out there for us now that we essentially didn't have back in the past. How do you, like, how can I say, communicate that to him in the sense where he knows he's Yoruba? Does he know the language? Does he know?
Do you know, it was never really anything that like I did like what is it, consciously? I never really sat there and was like, okay, I want to raise my son like this. That's just how we were in the house. And obviously I was still very young when I had him, so I was only at 17. So I was still, I think it was the day I gave birth to him that my mum was like, well, you're an adult now, that's it. But even before that, it was like I was still getting pocket money, you know. I was so that's just how the household was. And I think one thing about me is I can't be anything else but myself.
Okay.
So if you're going to be around me, you will get to learn that I'm Nigerian. You'll kind of get to understand like my roots and stuff. But I'm not like that kind of, I'm not like Americans. It's like I'm African and I'm, it's not that. It's just like, it's more of a lifestyle. It's like my upbringing is my way of life. Is even if I have leftover food, I'm going to put it in an ice cream tub and keep that in the fridge. It's just like,
there's little things.
It's little things like that. Whereas, Oimbo people, they'll buy Tupperware and it's the, specific type of, but we are raggers. Whatever container we have, we'll keep this. You both did your hands like that.
Yeah, literally,
It's stew when there's meant to be ice cream.
Yes.
Those
could
that
be
is
jollof
pain.
rice, it could be stew, it could be
pain.
absolutely anything. But
You
you're
know the
gonna,
ones where it doesn't phase you, like.
you just open it and be like, oh yeah.
Actually, I don't even believe it's ice cream in there anymore.
I mean,
honestly.
ice cream in the fridge though.
No, in the freezer.
Yeah.
Oh, the ones in the freezer.
Yeah, I don't expect ice cream to be in the freezer.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just expect it to be stew, like.
Exactly. Like,
No, so it's
sometimes I'm even disappointed to see ice cream. Like, I want
yeah,
to
exactly. I was like, I was hoping this was some jollof rice from
this
like.
is actually ice cream.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like one
Who
time,
needs this?
my mom bought a tub of ice cream, which is weird because you never buy tubs anyways, like nowadays.
Yeah.
So when she said, "Oh, I bought ice cream," I was like,
Why?
alright. Went to the freezer. I was like, Molly's. Who the hell is Molly? I was like, this ain't ice cream, is it? Open. I was like, this is actually ice.
Ice cream.
I was expecting more or something or to be in there. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So and I'm grateful actually because now that I kind of see like his, I guess like, even some of my friends now they're having kids. It's like it's now that they realize that they want their kids to be able to speak Yoruba, but they don't. So it's like, how are they gonna get that? But I'm just like, oh well. I didn't do it purposely, but luckily my parents were there, so he understands Yoruba. He's been to Nigeria several times. He knows very much like where he's from. So it's
Even in church and stuff.
yeah,
like
in
that,
church as well. Church really helps with things like that. Like it really does help, especially with the language. That I think that's one thing that helped me a lot as well, like church. But I guess it was just natural. And I'm actually grateful. I don't know how my next child, by God's grace, would be. I don't think they'd be as maybe well versed with the language, unless obviously I'm like, Mum,
yeah.
this is your just
You
speak the Yoruba, speak the Yoruba, please. But no, he's very much like in check with it, and I think he's very confident with it, and I think he sees that from family as well. So for him,
that's good.
It's almost second nature. Yeah.
I think.
Really good.
Oh, what you say?
I think that's really good.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think from like your standpoint, it must be like very proud because it's like when you are growing up, it's not a thing that you could necessarily be actively proud of.
Yeah.
Or like actively, you could say that, oh yeah, I understand a couple of things, or like even when you're talking, put on a little accent or whatever, and people will be looking at you like, the hell.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh yeah, it's calm, it's cool.
It's cool, yeah.
So I must be like really a heartwarming. Be like, oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. But growing up as well, like in school, when you'd be pretending to be Jamaican and stuff like that, it was just lack of knowledge. It's just like you're not. Why are we being silly? Do you know what I mean? It's just. Yeah, I guess it was just culture, society. It was.
It's mostly like assimilate rather than trying to be.
Yeah, like fit in, but now all the housewives and all these reality shows, they're all looking for Nigerian husbands, and it's kind of like they've been out here.
Been out here for ages.
They've been out here, but cool. And I guess with the help of Afrobeats, the rise of that as well has kind of had a lot of influence on how people see Africans. Yeah. Unfortunately, they've kind of likened the music to our worth.
Yeah, because I remember back there you'll be saying, oh, like African, what was it?
Boo scratcher.
Yes, yeah. Thank you.
Right. African boo scratcher. And then my friend would always be like,
oh,
and it's just like, what does that even mean?
Exactly.
What does it even mean?
That thing used to piss me off so much in secondary.
Oh my God. And she was Congolese as well,
That's even worse. That's even worse.
When she just sound up and down.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. You know what? Yeah, KSI, he used to have his day in court. Because he was another one that used to force that as well. Yeah. But
he does now a lot actually. Coco was watching one of his videos before I left, and he was speaking in a Nigerian accent, and I was like, is this KSI? He never used to do that.
Nah, he did.
No, he did, but he
But he released so many videos that he could miss it. But
he's like,
really?
but he was like the how can you say it? He would sound like what white people thought we'd sound like.
Yeah, because that was his audience. It was like everyone in the UK. It wasn't like our community.
Yeah. So we're like, hey. And all those sort of
genuinely, that was the first time I'd heard it, and I was like, when did KSI start doing this?
Yeah, he does it now to a more authentic,
maybe a
touch.
bit more confident.
Yeah, because it's more acceptable.
Yeah,
Back then,
he
it
was
was
just
like,
taking the piss off his mum and stuff.
Yeah,
oh right.
He was like, this is the stereotype. You guys want to hear it, so I'm gonna do it. Basically, that sort of thing.
No.
But one question I wanted to ask you, I guess can say it is a bit of a sensitive question or whatnot. But you did touch on it before. You said you were 17 when you had him. So how was that, especially in a Nigerian household, like breaking the news to your mum and sort of her coming to terms with it and just the whole experience?
Do you know, like when I think about it now, I always think of it as like this really, like this soap opera that's like unfolding and there's so many characters and there's so many things happening all at once. But I am like, now I'm like the audience. Now I can see it all, how it kind of unfolded in its kind of own bits. So how my sisters took it, how my mum took it, how my dad took it, how it affected their relationships, how it affected me and his, the boy's dad. I wanted to use the term I always use, but I don't know where this is going to go. So I don't want anyone calling me saying, you cannot say like that publicly. Anyway.
No, we'll just bleep it.
Oh, yes. That him and just like how it all kind of unfolded. It's obviously now, like in retrospect, it was a lot. But then it was just like, okay, I'm pregnant. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're having this baby in it. But it definitely affected my mum and dad's relationship, and it affected my sister and my dad's relationship. It was scary. It wasn't planned, obviously. And I think my thing was just that, like, oh, I actually just want to see what this child looks like. Like, it would be cool to see like what this baby would look like. But nothing prepares you for parenting. Nothing prepares you for motherhood. So it will never ever sink in. Maybe until like 5 years in, and then 10 years in, you're like, "Bro, I'm still a mum." Like
this doesn't stop. Right?
It doesn't. Like I'm still here. Like in the middle of the night when your baby's ill or something, and you're just having to sacrifice your sleep and your rest, and you're like, "Wow, I'm still doing this. This is still going on." But it was tough on the family. Like my dad wanted me to get rid of the baby. He wanted me to abort the baby for sure. We didn't speak for like my whole pregnancy, and I was in the house with it. It was just hello. He couldn't even really look at me. You know, my parents wanted, I don't know, they never really said, oh, I want you to be a doctor, I want you to be this. But obviously they have, you know, they've African household, they have big expectations for all their children, especially after they've carried their children to a whole nother country, to start a whole brand new amazing life. And then your child coming to tell you that they're pregnant. My mom was just like, okay, who's it for? Okay, so what are you going to do? Okay, no problem. My mum supported me, brought food to college every day. She'd pick me up. She'd drop me when she could. But it was hard, man. And to be very honest with you, it's funny because up until maybe like 4 years ago, if anybody would have come to ask me like, oh, I'm pregnant, I don't know what to do, I'd be like, look, you have your whole life ahead of you. Take your time. Because you're going to have to sacrifice a lot more. There's more sacrifice than there is gain for a long period. But now I'm just like, okay, God knew what he was doing. There's a reason why I had that child so young, because everything just kind of makes sense. But it was hard, like especially like the church, the community. I was basically like ostracized. I was just looked at like some disease. Everybody was just mean to me. It was nuts. Like there was no support from that side, the community. There was no support. It was just more, what's the word I'm looking for?
It was like they were looking at you like,
it was just more criticism and kind of disappointment, really. And I get it, but you know, I think
they're preaching marriage. So
but
if they support, sometimes some people they look at it
they're
like
preaching, some of the things they're doing. That's another topic, but
sometimes they look at it like,
Yeah,
if I support this, that means everything else is up for
And
grabs.
sometimes it's just I think stubbornness might be the right word to use, because it's like, although they're preaching, and obviously you as a preacher or someone who's involved in those sort of things, you'd want people to, you know, listen to what you say and I guess practice what you preach as well as you practice what you preach. But then you also have to understand that people don't necessarily always do what they're told or don't. Do you know what I mean?
We're human, like we make
exactly.
mistakes.
Like things happen. It's not just okay. If I tell these people this every Sunday, then they'll do it. Yeah, I mean, there's people that won't necessarily, or certain situations that'll happen where it's just it won't. And yeah, it's crazy. I was gonna ask you about that, like how it especially affected you in church, because obviously that's where I know you and whatnot. We grew up in the same church, so I was like,
I think church was the hardest one. No, my family was the hardest one, but church was the most disappointing.
Yeah, because you'd expect you know everyone there. Yeah. Everyone is like almost like extended family there.
Yeah, that's how church was. We did everything in church. Any birthdays was probably somebody from church. Yeah. So it was quite disappointing, and it was now I think as an adult it's more disappointing to hear that there were people who had children young, but they would hide it. Okay. Yeah, there's somebody in my church that has a child the same age as my son. I don't know what kind of sorcery.
How would you hide that?
But her parents took her out of that environment. Okay. They had the baby and they hid that baby for 14 years.
That's
that
crazy.
kind of I get.
That
sometimes you won't see them for time, or they'll say like they're abroad. You know those little things.
How mad is that?
No, but in Nigerian church, that's very mad.
No, but the way our church was,
because bro, you'd know everything.
You know everything.
You know everything, bro.
And this girl was coming to church normal.
Yeah.
And so it was like my shame was out there for everyone to see. Yeah. But my shame not being my child, but what I did. It was more the act.
Yeah.
Sex before marriage.
This is guaranteed they've done it. Not like it's rumors type thing.
Exactly. So having the child is like, okay, this is a product of your sinful actions.
Yeah.
But for this girl, she did not sin, nobody said a single thing because nobody knew. And I'd rather like at least, okay, I did what I did and this is it. This is it, you know what I mean? But her family really, and I think that's even crazier for me because I'm sure that there are people that were doing stuff in the church that was just mad or maybe even more mad. But it was like everything was just hidden, but they would still criticize. Yeah,
but that's the sad thing as well, because that child might feel like, does my mum feel proud of me? Like she's going to this church every week and she's not introducing
I'm not
me.
there.
Or like maybe if I come one week, I'm like
who
the
is
cousin
this person? Yeah.
You know those weird things like, so it's like maybe that child might go through something else. So sometimes you need your parents to like back you in certain situations. Yeah. Because that child might feel like, oh, my mum's not proud of me, or my family isn't, or.
And I tell my child all the time, I'm like, people weren't nice to me, and unfortunately, even up till now in the church, he still bears the brunt of people's hate towards me. Yeah. So they see him and they'll say something to him or do something to him just because he's a byproduct of me, isn't it? So it's unfortunate, and as a community, we still have a long way to go in that regard, because it's like the last thing you're supposed to do when a teenage girl comes and says she's gotten pregnant, you're supposed to support her. The last thing you do is push her away.
I guess some people's guilt as well, though. Like some people may have been through that exact situation. Maybe they got the abortion or did whatever. So now they're like looking at you like maybe resentment or whatnot.
Maybe.
So sometimes you don't even know, like someone might have gone through that exact same situation. They've hidden the child. Yeah. Or they've done this, done that. Like you never really know.
And now I'm just like I could never imagine my life without my son. Ever. There's no way anything I wanted to lay my hands on. I just don't believe that God would have blessed me the way he has done if I had an abortion, because I feel like everything I've done is because I had my son. Yeah. And I learned so much about myself, and I grew up with him, and that definitely has a big effect on everything I've done.
In terms of motivation as well. Like some people say basketball players have their best season once they have their child, because now I need to earn this bag. Like I can't be laissez-faire with it anymore. Like people love me, let me just half-ass it. Now I need
a reason to.
I need to leave a legacy. Like this child is here. I'm looking at the person every day. So I definitely understand that. Yeah,
it's my biggest blessing to date. Like, because if that's I want to have another child, but if that's my only child. Wow, that's like my best mate. Like we went school shopping the other day. The guy was like, "Oh, brother, sister," and I'm like, "No, I'm his mum." Wow. Yeah. Wow. No, they say black don't cry, black don't. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I know. I get it. Relax. Size 10s, please. So it's cool. We have a great relationship, but again, ultimately, I'm his mum, and as a parent, it's not easy. But we've grown up together, so I guess it's quite cool.
That's kind of strange. That was kind of my reaction when I found out that he was your son, Like, I found out when he was, like, I think it was when he was, like, 6.
Oh, if it was my little brother?
Yeah, I was like, I can't remember who I was talking to. I was like, oh, yeah, Esther's little brother. She's like, little brother? I was like, oh, yeah, Corridor. She's like, that's his son. I was like, son? Yeah. I'm not that much older than him. But I was like, actually, no, I actually kind of am. But, we'll hide that for a little bit. But, yeah, I was like, son. Yeah. I was like, oh, I thought that was lit, I thought that was so lit. I was like, lit, I can't lie. I was like, that's crazy. And then, but yeah, so when you were saying all that sort of stuff about people, I guess, looking at you differently and sort of saying stuff behind your back and whatnot, it's crazy because when I found out, it's like I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, I experienced that with you, or whatever, but it's like I sort of saw it in a sense where. In the same Sunday school, it's just a bit like
it's vibes. Like you can just tell who favors who.
Exactly, and then like you see sometimes like it's just like little things. You know what I mean? Like when everyone's sort of together. I'm not gonna say like he's there by himself or whatever, but it's like it's a bit different. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like the friends that he does have from Sunday school, he probably holds like quite dearly to him because. Just because of that situation, I guess.
Yeah. Do you want to share the situation after so I know how I'm going to write on my hit list? Listen.
Yeah, we'll talk off cam.
God, I like the prayers I've been praying over that child is because and I think it's a Nigerian mentality or African mentality. I just don't know what it is. It's like people...
If you guys like that, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep up to date with all of our releases. And tune into the whole episode now on Spotify and Apple.
We are